and impact the masses.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Doormen.
Every week it's something different.
I mean, come on. I mean, we got to change it up a little bit. We can't
No,
always start with Talofa.
Yes, you're
Okay?
correct.
No?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm Evangelist.
Steven in the building.
And let's kick this off right.
Let's just address the fact that we're both wearing cowboy hats.
We are definitely both wearing cowboy hats. I just think it's a great American way to like you said, it's a uniform, right?
Yeah,
The cowboy hat's gonna be the uniform.
Uniform is normally
He wanted matching shirts, but I'm okay with this cowboy hat uniform. I think the matching shirts would have been kind of but what we'll do is we'll keep the cowboy hats on.
Yeah, because the cowboy hats aren't gay.
I mean, not that we have anything against our LGBTQ
Squared
folks out there.
to the square root of pi.
Like I said, man, we have family and friends that are part of that community.
Yes, I'm just saying.
And
that
we
for the
absolutely
most part,
love you all.
For the most part, I believe the movie Magic Mike, they all were wearing cowboy hats. The strippers. That's fine. Let's move on.
Not that either of us are ready to become strippers.
No.
I don't think our dad bods.
I am the example of what a stripper looks like after he's failed his career.
I don't think our dad bods are going to be providing any sales in that way.
Maybe.
Well,
There's some freaky people out there.
The way I meant to start off correctly, right, was to show our gratitude towards our 2 subscribers. Brand new.
2 new.
2 new subscribers. Thank you. Your buddy.
You put us over the top.
Yes. We are well on our way.
Put us over the 131 mark. We appreciate you.
We are well on our
Tell
way.
your friends and force them to subscribe.
We're well on our way to notoriety.
That's what I do. I'm like, oh, let me see your phone.
That's where we're headed.
YouTube, subscribe. Here's your phone back.
We should do a campaign of just that.
Yes.
Just going.
Oh, we're testing your phone's capabilities.
Yeah, and just
Your
go do it to
your
like.
phone's good.
Go do it to like 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot of work.
Take a solid week off work to do this. Hey, if you have the PTO, let's do it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down. I'm down. And we should do. I mean, that's what we should be doing on our weekends, bro. We should be
Hijacking
at the
people's
bars.
cellular phones.
Huh?
Oh, the bars would be easy.
We'd be at the bars. Hey, buddy, can I make a phone call?
Yeah, can I call my Uber?
Hey, you mind if I call my wife?
And they're like, "Where's your Uber?" Never mind. Just walk away.
Right. Just walk
They'll
away.
never know.
They'll never even know. They'll start seeing us in their newsfeed.
Or all of a sudden they'll be like, "Why is the YouTube app downloaded on my phone?"
Like, hey, I think I recognize
Was
this
I
guy.
that
This
drunk last
is the
night?
guy who asked to borrow my phone, bro.
Did I? Yeah, exactly. Those criminals.
Anyway, thank you to our new subscribers. We absolutely appreciate your support, your love. Tell friends.
Yeah, and comment.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Stop letting my mom be the only one that comments.
But hey,
We
Margaret,
appreciate the comments.
We absolutely love you, man.
But I mean, gee, many Christmas.
And not just because you're Steven's mom. You actually have some great insight to
He only says that because you side with him every friggin' time.
I mean, she's
clearly
a wise woman. She's clearly a wise
delusional.
woman.
I have to speak to her.
She's clearly a wise woman.
I don't know.
Absolutely. Wisdom coming out of you. Thank you, Margaret. Wow. Well, let's do a week recap. I don't know if you know, but we have started our mac and cheese sales. So my wife and I, we do this yearly mac and cheese sale of.
I noticed because on our Dropbox I saw pictures of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Instantly made me hungry.
We it's been going great. You know, we try to keep it pretty minimal. You know, 20 pans would be just a great, you know, where it's not too much work for either of us. Right?
I would like a pan.
Oh, hey.
So 21.
21. That's where we're going.
Or I can be part of the 20, I guess. Let's make it easier.
Let's make it easier, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been going fantastic, man. We thank you for all you guys out there who have been supporting this mac and cheese sale. Just been awesome, dude. It's a labor of love.
And all those who don't know, you're missing out.
It's
because
golden.
God damn it.
This process has been maybe 15 years in the making. Absolute gold. It's been awesome. Anyway, that and then work's been fantastic because there's not been very much of it.
Oh,
so a lot of free time.
Yeah, that's always good.
It's been a lot of free time. I mean, I love trucking, but it goes through its peaks and valleys, and then so right now we're currently in a valley.
Grand Canyon like?
Not too Grand Canyon. It's it's slower. Slower. Got out a few days this week, but no one's complaining. Right. It's all love. So it's a beautiful thing. Happy to be employed. Happy to live the lifestyle I live. So, you got to have some kind of an income.
Yep.
And what about you? What's going on in?
Well, my job, I recently drove a Toyota Mirai, which is a fuel cell hydrogen vehicle. Hydrogen.
So how is that green ride?
It's fast.
Is it cost efficient?
Absolutely not. It's the definitive anti-cost effective poster vehicle. Because the hydrogen stations, one, are few and far between, and they're expensive.
What did you say?
It's equivalent to paying $17 a gallon for gas.
$170?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So you know what? Anyone pushing for this new Green Deal, you get an absolute fuck you.
Yeah, pull your head out of your ass.
Maybe a super fuck you. Maybe not an absolute fuck you because absolutes are frowned on.
Well,
because nothing is absolutely anything, right? So you get a super fuck you. What we will.
Yeah, you're correct. I can't wrap my mind around something that only gets you 300 miles to the charge
at $170 per tank,
and that's not even all the way empty. That's like a quarter of a tank.
Wow. Yeah. So and then the idea that California we're pushing to move in that direction of just absolute banning of the fossil fuel powered engines.
I mean the cool things are inside the car, like the wireless charger and the fact that it recognizes your phone and all the cool bells and whistles that a car could have. This car has. But again, you can charge a Tesla at your house, right?
Sure.
You can charge a plug-in hybrid at your house.
Right.
You cannot get a hydrogen station installed in your garage.
Oh, no?
It's frowned upon.
Wow.
Yeah, it's frowned upon.
Holy shit. Where are we going?
And it's the most archaic way to fill it up. It's just a plastic cap over a metal valve that you connect this hydrogen hose to and just run it till it's full. It's hydrogen. And there's a thing that when you're driving it, it tells you to press this button to exit all the water.
Oh.
It's strange. Again, cool car to drive.
It sounds, as you're talking about it, it's like you're speaking another language.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of lost.
But the rebates that you get for these kind of cars are out of control.
Wow.
Off the lot after all the rebates.
That's California for you, right? They will give you everything, kind of like a carrot, just luring you into this trap, right? And then once you you're just totally vested in it, you realize you're trapped.
You're like, oh shit, I can't drive my car to the station. You're paying 170
times. I mean, you're paying $170 every time you want to travel 300 miles.
Right.
So it's like a plane ticket, basically.
Yeah.
Every time you want to travel.
So the state rebate, and the last thing I'll say about this car, the state rebate and the federal rebates and the rebates on the lot when you get a new car. Off the lot, that car's $15,000 after all the rebates come back.
Wow.
But then you just get bent over
Just
at the hydrogen station. Yes.
You're getting fucking no lube.
These boys, the original cowboys would frown upon this type of behavior.
They'd be pushing to brand you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what in the hell?
Capital L.
What in the
Right
hell
on that right
is
ass
a
cheek.
hydrogen powered car?
Push for the steam engine.
Yeah. Give me a coal car. Give me a horse.
Well, you know what? I did want to comment on, we've been seeing on the little social media, rounds, I guess.
Feed.
The whole visit from President Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping.
Is he a president?
I think he's a president.
Dictator.
I think that's what they call him. President
Dictator.
Xi Jinping. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Anyway,
That guy.
I just wanted to take notice that, holy shit, the change that San Francisco was able to go through
Yeah, overnight.
in order to receive that guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Only if he would visit every square mile of San Francisco.
The state of California.
Well, at least San Francisco, right?
I don't live in San Francisco. I give a shit.
But I'm saying, if he would visit every square mile of San Francisco, that would be an absolutely changed city.
Well,
right?
Overnight, and then as soon as he leaves, it goes
fucking
right back
night,
to the
dude.
pile
Like-
of shit that it is.
Just cleanliness everywhere. It just seemed like
Well,
a brand new city
That's why I support the city of Los Angeles.
because it stays trashy.
Well, it's not San Francisco, number one.
Uh-huh.
Number two, it's its own special class of trash.
Hey, I think we should request that Xi Jinping visit LA.
He wouldn't. You want to know why?
Why?
Because there's no way they could keep him safe in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he probably.
And you start lining Chinese flags up on Figueroa, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna definitely.
You
be
never
a
know,
problem.
man. Those sex workers on Figueroa, they probably wrap themselves in it and make those the
Make a new
sexiest
dress.
looking flags.
Make a new dress.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Also in San Francisco, where it's legal to just be fully nude and sell.
I
your
thought that
ass
was
on
all
the street.
throughout California.
No,
Just San Francisco.
San Francisco. You can,
You
be
can be
scantily clad in other cities, but you can be fully nude on the streets
Wow.
with a sign that says, "Hey,
Because that's your profession.
$4." Right.
Yeah, because it's your profession.
Right.
Holy shit.
Right.
What an ass backwards world we live in.
Now I ask you this, Evan:
Huh.
where is the balance in that?
There is no balance.
No
in that, brother.
balance.
Hey, great segue.
Segue.
Great
I am
segue.
the segue
You are the
master.
segue guru. You are the Bruce Lee of segues.
I have found balance in segues.
You are the Kwai Chang Kane.
like water.
You are the Kwai Chang Kane.
Be like water.
Well, yeah. So, I guess he let the cat out of the bag. So, the Doormen discussion today, we were looking to, just offer you guys answers, solutions, right? Because that's what it's about. That's what we're all about.
Well, we
right?
definitely try.
Anyway, so our discussion today, we kind of wanted to talk about the balance that we've discovered. First off, the balance we've discovered by hosting this great podcast of ours,
Yes.
right? Because, I'm pretty sure you guys have all experienced the great insight that we have.
Yeah.
Steven and I are just
We balanced ourselves on the YouTube from
right.
Spotify.
We are absolute gurus.
Yes.
Gurus
we're
of
not.
what?
We just talk on the microphone. The guru, ladies and gentlemen, is sitting
our
right
producer.
here. Yes.
He's behind the scenes.
We went out and got the best producer
that
since
money could buy.
Spielberg.
Right. That money could buy.
Yes.
Right.
That our money could buy.
Mind you, if
Well,
we
his
were
money
out
could buy.
in public with our producer, he would totally deny knowing us, though. Well, joke. This is a joke. He'd absolutely associate himself with
Yeah.
great personalities as
I
the
hope.
two of us.
Or he'd be like, I don't know you two fucking guys.
These old bastards.
Get away from me. You
Yeah.
old
No, because we've
bastards.
got to highlight that the idea that our producer is in his 20s. So, ladies
Yes.
out there, if you're looking,
When we get another one of these and another one of these,
because that's how far we are
we
going.
might be voted off the island.
We
Maybe we step behind the scenes and
Right,
he just
right.
talks.
Yeah, it'll probably get more views,
Yes.
more subscribers.
Yeah.
That
Well,
way-
whatever it takes.
We'd probably reach 150.
Hey, watch out now.
Watch out. Well, I mean, yeah. So we've discovered in our maybe it's because we're old guys. We discovered the need for balance first and foremost,
Yes.
and then we've actually discovered, ways to achieve this balance, this said balance, right?
Mm.
I mean, we've always said we are always talking about. I mean, you've got this potentially chaotic life that people often lead, right? And then in our own immaturity, Stephen and I delved face first, head first into this chaos,
Cannonballed.
just having zero balance in our lives, right? So whether it was women and just focusing totally on women, or whether it was focusing totally, in my case, on a good time in general, whether it was the party life, getting absolutely blitzed out of my mind on the weekends, or just having a good time. You tend to just focus on like just one aspect of your life,
Right.
and you just lose yourself in this.
Well, it's easy to fall into a habit, right?
Yeah,
It's easy to fall into a way of life, as we witnessed several weekend nights over and over and over again,
oh my goodness,
working the bars.
for years.
And I've said this before. Me personally, he never did. I just got sick and tired of seeing the same people ordering the same drinks, saying the same shit to the same scallywag women that were in the bar, and then
And they
acting
were
like
scallywag women.
it's a different day. Like they're now, I don't know what's going on in their personal life. Maybe they have balance, right?
I
But
mean,
from an
I don't know.
outside view, it's definitely not a balanced life. If I can set my watch to you coming into the bar, that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, in all honesty, we didn't know much about these people outside of their activities at the bar.
Yeah.
But like Steven said, very regimented people when it came to their time at the bar.
Scheduled.
Scheduled.
Just unbelievable.
Right. When you could set your watch to the time that they were going to fall asleep at the bar.
Yeah.
That's a
When you
feat.
walk into the bar and the bartender has your drink poured before you sit down, you frequent that bar far too often.
I mean, some would say that's a good thing.
I think those that say it's a good thing have no balance.
Sure. So what is this said balance though? What's the end result of this balance in your?
Well, to me, it's the ability to come home when you lay your head on that pillow, to be able to know that you've done your absolute best that day. I think, whether it's combined with work, family, me personally, going to work and having I'd say a productive day, and sitting in this god awful Southern California traffic, and then going home and making sure, the kids are fed, bathed, asleep at a decent hour. That's a balance for me. That I guess would keep me balanced, knowing that the day was productive, kids are taken care of, and we move on to the next day.
I mean, I would say that's a fantastic vision of balance, right? But personally, I would say like a person has achieved balance when everything that comes out of their mouths is exactly what the reality is, right? So if you intend to do something, let's say, right? Like, oh yeah, this is what's going to happen at such and such time on such and such date. Those are the things that happen. There's zero. I would say when there's zero lag between what's needed in life and what's achieved, right? So, like, let's say my car goes down. If I have problems getting that car back up, if I'm absolutely, without the means to get that need met, that's a lack in the balance. If I have, let's say, one of my, family members are in need, and it's an emergency, because some people just need to borrow like a few $100 or whatever, but if there's a serious need, a medical need, some type of an emergency, life or death situation, right? And if I can't meet that need, right? If I can't automatically meet that need, there's something missing, right?
Right.
So for me, the balance comes when anything that anything that I need, or anything that I desire, or anything that I'm any intention that I have, or anything that comes out of my mouth as far as what I want to happen. To me, balance is those things being readily available. And if they're not, I don't think I personally haven't met the balance that I'm looking to achieve at that point.
Well, there's an example. I've said it before often. I don't subscribe to the WWJD. I subscribe to what would Evan do in this situation.
WWED, it's like WED.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like you say ED, and people are like, "Oh, that sucks for you." But I just say, "What would Evan do?" But like an example, you told me a while ago, like money's just money, right? You're always going to make more money. So when that cocksmoker broke the window on the Suburban,
what a piece
normally, I would have just been pissed off for weeks after, months maybe. But the window was broken. I told Shelby. We tried to clean up the glass. She was upset for a little bit. The window was fixed by 9:30, and you just move on. And yeah, it sucked, but we had the money to fix it. It wasn't obviously planned. So to your example, in that situation, we had the balance.
Yeah, absolutely, right? So I mean, So first off, it's a mindset, right? So there's got to be peace attached to this balance, right? Because, again, everything begins with our thoughts, right? We often say in the thought process, and then in reality, there's a sequence of events. It goes from your thoughts to your words to your actions to then reality,
Right.
And then, so balance is achieved when your thoughts match the reality, the intended outcome. So if there's in any way there's a missing link between the intended outcome and your thought process, then we have to question the presence of balance,
The validity of balance.
So I mean, am I completely balanced at this point? This is the point I'm trying to make. Am I completely balanced at this point? No, hell no.
Right.
Am I more balanced now than I was at one point?
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely. Right.
And I think, to provide some kind of like a universal blanket would be just absolutely, it would be idiocy.
Right.
To try to say, oh, okay, this is how balance is achieved for everyone.
Right. Because it's
just
situational, right? Balance is situational.
Right.
We were talking before we started this about, people who are successful, Hollywood example. And there's a lot of examples of people who have perceived balance, but are not at all behind closed doors. But, back to the window thing, my main goal was, since that's the car that gets Shelby and the kids around, was how am I going to have this car in the area I live with a piece of cardboard I would have done anything that day to get that window
You would
fixed.
have an unwanted tenant in that car by morning
Yep.
with a piece of cardboard.
I-
You're gonna
I-
come to that cardboard. You're gonna come to the car. Cardboard's gonna be ripped down, and there's gonna be somebody sleeping in the front seat. You're like, yeah,
Yeah, he would have got the full load on that one. But like it was to the point where like if we didn't have the money to fix the window, like I was contemplating I was gonna sleep in the car with the window wide open and pray for somebody to come in the truck.
right,
But that's not a feasible option. That's not reality,
right.
right? So we did what we had to do. We got the window fixed, and then you just move on. And it was, unfortunate, but again, we get paid the next Friday, so what's
Sure.
the big deal?
Well, I mean, okay, so back to this whole concept of balance, right? I don't know if we've been able to explain what it is that balance looks like to the both of us. I think we've just kind of been
Rambling as we
just
did.
rambling as we always do. But just to kind of like nail it down, it definitely begins with a peace of mind. Because if you don't have peace of mind, then there really can't be any balance achieved, right? Because
Right.
if your mind is full of chaos, if your your regimen is somewhat sporadic, there's no telling from day to day, what you're doing, that's an indicator of a lack of balance. If the people in your life are, and when I say the people in life, of course, your family should, I would say the family should be that core group, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're unless you've chosen to, divorce yourself from your family and create let's say a new family in the form of friends, then, again, everything is individual to,
Yep.
from person to person.
Situational.
Yeah, because I've heard of plenty of people who can't stand their family, and there's no judgment on my part, but personally, I'm a very family oriented person, so family is of absolute importance to me. So my balance includes having a healthy relationship with each family member, having a healthy relationship with the idea of meeting whatever needs of theirs that I can. Right. Mm-hmm. So personally, that's what it has to do for me. But again, balance is individual to each person. So, maybe you have a set of friends that you now consider your inner circle. But there has to be I would say there has to be some accountability to people around you.
Right.
People in your proximity that you value, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can you be a loner and maintain balance? I mean, personally, I would say no. I would say like that's not
Right.
a doable. But again, this is just an opinion of mine.
To each his own.
To each his own. But in my mind, balance can't be achieved as a loner, right?
Yeah.
I think isolation is I think you pointed out the idea that the worst thing that they can do to a person in prison is to put them in solitary confinement.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it definitely involves peace of mind. Balance involves peace of mind. It involves a healthy relationship with a core circle around you.
Yeah.
It involves goals and potential objectives being met, achievements. So there has to be some type of destination you're pushing toward, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So again, it's individual to everyone.
Well, levels of relationships too, right?
Sure.
Like you and I individually and collectively have a lot of acquaintances.
Sure.
Individually for myself, there are very few people that know a lot about me, and those are the ones closest. But also, like even on a familial level,
Mm-hmm.
there are certain people in your family that you're really close to, and certain people that you're not. And finding the balance in that to have a functioning family get together and not have absolute chaos at the dinner table is difficult in itself, because balance doesn't just take one side. Balance is two-sided when it comes to family problems.
It's funny when you mentioned family and chaos. So my dad's side of the family, right? One thing that was always a great part of my life was the idea that this side of my family we just had this absolute like love for gathering, together. So my grandmother, she was just this very nurturing woman. She, great cook. She was a baking legend. She baked these, but her love for all of these little activities, and then her love for her children and grandchildren, it just created this foundational idea that like we belong together, right? So we just have this set of cousins and that were just drawn to each other. Like all my early childhood, right? We were just drawn to each other. We were constantly hanging out at each other's homes and like, we kind of, I always say that there was this period of my life that we played on the streets. And then, so we played on the streets together. Like when I say played on the streets, I'm not talking about like hiding on seek or playing football. It was like there was a time where we hung out on the streets and, we tried to do that street, some people will call it gang banging or whatever it was, but
Played tag.
I called it playing because I personally didn't have to be out there. Right? I had two parents at the home. I had a great home life, but I was attracted to this street life. So I just made, my brother and we made our way out there, and
You did not have balance.
dabbled. We found this total lack of balance where we were just focused on all the shit that was going on outside.
Scales were tipped in the wrong direction.
Absolutely, dude. But yeah, but we just we did it together with this set of family members of ours. But it was always like, you talk about a core group that we always looked out for one another. We were always like, we gravitated towards hanging out and, just wanted to be a part of each other's lives. That was us. So again, my balance always involved this core group, this core family. And as long as we had each other, as long as we were like looking out for one another or considering each other in our days, weeks, whatever, like that brought an absolute like confidence to our walk. I mean, just a love for life. We just, it was just you didn't need anything, right? You didn't need anything when you had that type of support, that love, that people who loved you. Yeah. It was just this awesome, thing. Yeah. That was a part of my childhood. Right. So like, as far as balance is concerned, I think
that's kind of the same thing. I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's kind of the same thing. Like with, my mom's side of the family. I didn't know any different. Like I didn't like my dad's side of the family. I don't know. But like, I didn't know any different. Like it's not like he was there till I was like 5 and then vanished. I never met the dude. So I didn't know the difference. I didn't know the, of having somebody there and then them being gone. I didn't know the difference. So all of my mom's side of the family, which was my whole family, I don't know the other side. So they were there and they showed me that same kind of, that love and attention that a child needs. And I didn't know the difference. So that balance was there for me, always knowing that somebody was going to be there.
Yeah, it's such an awesome thing, man. It's funny, man. I always tell the story about two guys that I knew. Came from absolutely wealthy homes, right? One of them was a trust fund baby, and the other one was probably in the process of becoming this, multimillionaire because of his parents, because of his parents' hard work. And then so one thing about the both of these guys that I knew was that they just appeared to be the most love lacking
Right.
individuals that I'd ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were constantly looking for that thing that we had as family, right?
Right.
So they would see, like, me and my brother, cousins hanging out, and they would just want to be a part of that,
Right.
right? And in my mind, I kind of came to understand that, money is only going to have it has a limited reach.
It only goes so far.
Yeah,
Right.
only goes so far. But when you have a group of people, again, when you have a group of people who value you and you as much as you value them, it's something so fulfilling.
Right.
That, I mean, I believe it. You absolutely have to include that in this balance that you seek.
Right. Well, there's something to be said knowing that if something were to go sideways in any way, you have a multitude of people to choose from.
Sure.
To lean on. And
regulators.
Yeah.
Mount up.
It's something that most people, like maybe those two guys you were talking about, that want that so bad that they go out and try to create it, and it's just not real.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, I find myself watching the Tate brothers, right? And they talk about that time when they were locked up. They were locked up in a Romanian jail, and they were locked up together
unjustly.
Right? Unjustly, right? Absolutely. But they were locked up together, and because they had each other, it made that time in just an unsavory place not as bad as it would be.
Right.
Right.
It probably didn't hurt that they were fucking a foot taller than most people kickboxers. But
right. I mean, again, it's just if we're talking about balance and attaining and achieving this life that anyone would value, you have to consider that. You have to consider the relationship and the importance of relationships. I always say, when it's all said and done at the end of life, right? All you truly have are your relationships and your experiences.
Right.
Those are the only things that you're left with at the end of the day. Yeah. That's what can be truly said about you afterwards. And of course, money, if you leave money in the right places, or if you're able to help your family or provide like generational wealth to your descendants and whatnot, that's fantastic in of itself. But when people, it's like that cartoon Coco, right? You watch Coco?
You kidding me? I watch fucking almost at least once a week.
They say you die twice, right? You die physically, and then you die. The second death is when no one speaks.
When no one remembers you.
No one remembers you.
Remember
me. So I mean, yeah. So when it's all said and done, if you don't have if you don't leave those memories in the minds of people, if you don't somehow affect, people enough to where they're talking about you, or they're referring to you, or making, telling stories about you after you're gone. I mean, did you find balance?
Yeah.
Were you able to achieve this said balance? Probably not. Doubtful.
Did you leave a mark on YouTube with 133 subscribers? No.
Can you
Only
claim...
2 men can say that.
Yes. I mean, it is an exclusive group of
yes.
33. It's a sacred number, right? It's
it's a Masonic... weird satanic club at Disneyland.
Right. Club 33.
And also...
Hey, I've been there.
Of course you have.
Yeah. Fucking awesome restaurant, bro.
Only big people. Big time. Go to Club 33.
Bro. Yo. No, but yeah.
I was supposed to go there for prom one time for dinner.
Wife won an award through BP. Hey, shout out to British Petroleum.
I was supposed to go there for
if
prom one
if
time
you'd
for
like
dinner.
to sponsor us, BP, British Petroleum.
Yeah, let's crack it with
Holla at
that.
your boys.
Or Celsius,
Yeah. Yeah, Celsius.
or Red Bull,
Hook it up.
or anybody who wants us there. We are not loyal to anybody yet.
we have signed zero contracts.
We have not signed anything. And
Let
we
us
are
know.
Willing
We are here
yes.
for your utilization.
We will not be sponsored by Bud Light, though. So Bud Light can
No.
fuck off.
Hey, you know what? I did you see that Theo Von interview of Dana White?
Yeah.
So after seeing that video, I was kind of like, you know what? I don't see Bud Light as being that bad, because Dana White being such a rebel, and Dana White was like, you know what, I'm. You find people, you deal with sponsorships that kind of align with your way, and he was like, you know what, Bud Light made one mistake, and then they've paid for it, but.
And they also gave him a boatload of money. So if Bud Light wants to come with a boatload of cash,
Sure.
yeah, we'll have a Bud Light.
Are we prostitutes in that way?
Hey, we're trying to find the balance in the marketing order.
Right. Hey, you heard him.
So we'll test it out, and whichever one pays the most.
Right. Hey,
I'm sorry. Aligns
whoever
with our values.
Aligns with our values.
Yeah, give me a fucking break.
Hey, I was like, you know what? If Dana White is working with Bud Light, how bad can they possibly be?
Yeah, I'm sure that they were
Right.
like, hey, here's a cool $2
me
billion.
being a fight fan and all, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Here, can we put our label this big on your huge ring?
Right.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Right.
I won't
Get
cave.
Right.
Won't do it.
No. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds for us and our potential sponsorships. But you know what? I think we've pretty much covered this need for balance. Hey, great mindset, peace in the mindset, and
Good support system.
a great support system. You got to find it. If you don't have it, those are the foundations of a great balanced life, right? And then of course goals. Set goals, and don't set easy ones. Set difficult ones.
What are we gonna end this episode on?
We have to go with stories.
Do we?
Do we? I think that's
Let's ask our producer. What do we end
producer.
with?
Which should we?
If the battery allows it.
Let's see where this. Okay,
That's
you
true.
can off camera. We've got a.
If the battery.
We've got a great amount of battery left in this. I mean,
Great.
we can go on and on. I mean,
All that means is that his story is gonna be long-winded.
no, we're not. Okay, we're gonna try to move away from long-winded stories. Very short, very brief. I want to tell one story because I discovered a young man.
Start your timer.
No, it's going to be a very short, brief story, right? I discovered a young man who had zero balance in his life because he was absolutely overcompensating for this whatever was lacking in his life. So I was leaving O'Malley's, as I often do, at 2:15 after I'd cleared the patio and bar. So I'm leaving and I'm crossing the street, going to see my brother who was at the Irisher. And lo and behold, what do I see? Empty street, but there's this couple standing in front of Irisher, and this young man was pissing on the wall of the Irisher.
Unacceptable.
And then he is just, making jokes while his woman is standing next to him, laughing her ass off, right, as he's pissing on the bar.
Typical Seal Beach behavior.
Right. I don't know that was because I'd only seen that one time. Anyway, so I'm crossing the street, and in my mind, I thought,
That's a segue to
what
last
a
week's episode.
disrespectful piece of shit.
Entitlement.
There's definitely a lack of balance in that young man's life, right? So he's laughing, and I don't know what they're laughing about, but I just assumed that he thought it was funny to piss on the wall of the Irisher. So he turns around as I'm calling at him. I don't know the guy's name, but hey. Right? So he
Hey,
turns
pee
around.
pants.
Huh?
Hey, pee pants.
No. I just said, hey. So as I wanted to make sure to get close enough. I didn't want him running. I didn't want him to. Hey. So he turns around, and I make sure I'm just like walking as fast as I can, right to his face. I said, "What the fuck are you doing?"
There you go.
And he goes back, stumbles into the wall. I mean, more piss is falling out because he didn't have time to zip.
Right.
Right. He just turned around and
He's being
and I
attacked
wanted
by
to
a
make
rhino.
sure. I just,
Yeah.
you know, but I did want to make sure he was looking at me and he was facing me because that would be totally.
Sucker punch.
So I didn't want to. I'm not a sucker punch guy.
Right.
I'm not a bully either. Right. But the disrespect that this young man had.
Yeah.
For the Irisher. Yeah. I mean, Seal Beach is second home to me. Right. So anyway, he's stumbling and then he's holding his face, trying to zip up his pants on his way down to the ground. He catches himself and he tries to stand up. Right. He's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" I said, "Hey, who the fuck do you think you are pissing on my bar?" "Oh, this is not your bar. Get the fuck out of here."
Right.
So he goes and doesn't say a word after that. Like I say, get the fuck out. He crosses the street.
Right.
As soon as him and his girl cross the street, he's yelling at the top of the lungs, having his girl hold him back. And I thought, why didn't you say all of that as you were standing here in front of me? Why weren't you? Anyway, lack of balance on that young man's part. And then lesson: never, ever piss on any place that I value. Irisher, O'Malley's, those are
Right.
very sentimental. Those hold sentimental value in my heart.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Seal Beach. Anyway, quick story.
Yeah, it was quick.
And
So I'll have one where
4 minutes. Easy, dog. Easy. 4 minute story, bro.
yeah, my story is
Time
also
is story.
also in Seal Beach,
Time this motherfucker.
where you were working, I was just there. Your brother was working the Irisher, and this is a story about balance, having people that are always there, right? So we were just hanging out, and I think we weren't closed yet, or you weren't closing yet, but somebody had said something to your brother across the street from the Irisher, and he yelled, and it was walking towards him, and the guy was yipping, talking shit, and I ran, you ran, and Aaron ran over there,
Okay.
and that guy was yipping, and then not that your brother needed us, by any
Right.
means, but that was an act of solidarity, and
Oh yeah.
I think that when that guy saw 4 other guys coming around the corner, he was like, "Hey, bro, no problems." Like, no, you fucking ran your mouth. now.
Wait. Was this the time when he mollywopped the dude over
Yep.
there on the side?
Yep. But that guy was, again, no balance, because any person in his right mind talking to any of your brothers, the way he spoke to him was just no balance at all. None.
None. But you know what? Again,
Oh, by the way, my story's over. What was my time? 47 seconds.
About a minute-ish.
That's a quick story.
A little over a minute.
there was no climax to that.
If you what do you mean? I said he had no balance.
I was
and,
waiting,
and that was a
I was
sign
waiting
of
for-
solidarity by the 4 of us.
Okay, great. Okay,
That
I
was
was
my
waiting
story.
for like
There
this
doesn't need
build
to be-
up to a climax.
Nope.
That was
Can't
just
tell the rest of that
pretty-
story.
And that was pretty like
Cannot tell the rest of that story.
No, we
on the
can't.
podcast.
We cannot tell the rest.
If
of
you
that
were there,
story.
you were there.
Hey, I think we've told pieces of that story, and the fact that I still buy that guy a drink every time I see him. Shout out to that guy, man.
Whatever.
You took a great what's the word? Refining moment.
You took a hell of a balance shot.
You took a ham bone.
Oh my god.
You took a couple of ham bones.
Yes.
I still buy that guy a drink, man. Great. Kudos to you. You know,
I
if
hold
you know, you know.
I hold grudges.
I bought that guy like a few drinks after that, dude.
Fantastic.
Every time I saw him, I was like, man, you just come on in, bro. You deserve some shit. Hey, tooth chipped and everything. He's like, I think he got that corrected though.
I'm
I'm
sure
pretty sure you got that correct.
he's from Seal Beach. I'm sure his
Yeah,
daddy
anyway.
paid for it.
Anyway, that is our show for the day, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you tuning in. What's the phrase that all these influencers say? They say, like, comment, subscribe,
Put the bell on.
share, put the bell on, all that good shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we out.
We go.